My ex-best friend accused me of breaking up her relationship, so I moved out, and later ended up with her ex. I met Katie in my first year of college. We became inseparable almost instantly and somehow ended up sharing an apartment. Our floor was close, everyone knew everyone else's business. They knew mine too. I was a single mother, working full-time, studying full-time, holding myself together after my daughter's father walked out on us. My life was exhausting, but it was honest. I didn't have room for chaos. Katie did. She collected sympathy like currency, always redirecting attention back to herself. I ignored the warning signs. She was my best friend. I trusted her. That trust cracked quietly at first. A neighbor named Dan started joining me on morning jogs. He watched me in a way I noticed but didn't encourage. Around the same time, Katie began dropping comments about loyalty and boundaries, her eyes lingering a little too long on me when she said it. I assumed she was stressed. Until January, when she and Dan quietly became a couple, I was happy for her. I barely had time to breathe, let alone interfere in someone else's relationship. Then May happened. One night Katie came home hysterical. She collapsed into my arms, sobbing so hard she could barely speak. I skipped work, ordered food, stayed with her until she cried herself to sleep. I thought I was being a good friend. A month later, she gathered everyone together and shattered my life in a single sentence. She announced that Dan had broken up with her that May night, the same night I had held her together, and then she turned to me and accused me of being the reason. The room went silent. I felt the ground drop out from under me. I didn't defend myself. I couldn't. The irony was suffocating. The woman who had been betrayed and abandoned was now being branded a homewrecker. I walked out into the cold without a jacket, my phone vibrating nonstop with messages that suddenly felt like accusations. By morning, I was done. I packed my life into boxes while Katie was in class and used my emergency savings to disappear. No confrontation, no explanations. I chose survival. A week later, I posted an ad for a roommate. Dan answered. Sitting across from him, the truth finally surfaced. He admitted he'd been pressured into dating Katie, guilted into it by her and another friend. He told me he'd always had feelings for me, but backed off when he thought I'd reconciled with my ex. Her jealousy hadn't been intuition. It had been projection. We became roommates, then allies, then something quieter and stronger. While Katie launched a smear campaign, we focused on our degrees and the small, steady routines that made life feel safe again. We didn't rush. We waited. We healed. When we finally admitted our feelings, it felt less like falling and more like standing on solid ground for the first time in a long while. And when Dan stepped into my world, he didn't hesitate. He accepted my daughter as part of me, not a burden. Where one man had walked away, another chose to stay. On graduation day, Katie's lies no longer mattered. I crossed that stage lighter than I'd felt in years. I never planned to become the girl who dated her best friend's ex. But sometimes, the person who tries to destroy your name ends up clearing the path to the person who protects it.